Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. Look at all that justice and truth rising up, making Gotham great again, citizens of Gotham. I come to you somewhere in the outskirts of Gotham, underneath Wayne Manor. And Earth Day is April 21st, and it is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. And this article was submitted by Truth to Tweet. We've been demonetized by YouTube, so you can support our show in many ways. You can go to Venmo, PayPal. They're all at grahamelwood.com. The links are below there. They're scrolling across the screen. And of course, you can support us at patreon.com/grahamelwood and rockfin.com/grahamelwood. And we have a P.O. box. Just go to grahamelwood.com. A lot of great ways to support what we're doing. So after a critical year for COVID-19 and climate, Earth Day 2021 is this Thursday. And it's significant. And I'm just going to cover a couple articles here. But one of the things I just wanted to bring up, because I remember talking about this about a year ago. It was like the first month, 4 to 8 weeks of the shutdown a year ago, where the air quality, everyone was noticing the air quality in Southern California was the best it had ever been since they started recording air quality. Like, it was nuts because nobody was driving. Everything was shut down. And I've heard even in Hawaii, even in like Australia, where there's like reefs, and in the Caribbean where the reefs have been decimated, they started to kind of come back to life in all these places because there was no tourists showing up, because no one was traveling. And by the way, sidebar, only buy reef safe sunscreen. I know everyone's going to go out this summer. We're going to go in the ocean. That's great. Reef safe sunscreen. Look that up. Sidebar. So the air quality got better because there weren't all these cars, there weren't all these planes, there weren't all these trucks, and we saw like it was just a byproduct of the shutdown during the pandemic, which always made me go, look what just happened that helped the environment in the short run just by the whole world working together. I'm not saying we need to go to a global shutdown again. I'm saying if the whole world got together and said, let's fix climate change, we could do it, because the climate's been being decimated for decades. That's why Earth Day first started. This is a story that was in the news when it first happened.
This planet is threatened with destruction, and we who live in it with death. The heavens reek, the waters below are foul, children die in infancy, and we and the world, which is our home, live on the brink of nuclear annihilation.
Still do today.
We are in a crisis of survival.
This is a CBS News special, Earth Day, a question of survival, with CBS News correspondent Walter Cronkite.
Good evening. A unique day in American history is ending, a day set aside for a nationwide outpouring of mankind seeking its own survival. Earth Day, a day dedicated to enlisting all the citizens of a bountiful country in the common cause of saving life from the deadly byproducts of that bounty, the fouled skies, the filthy waters, the littered earth. As a demonstration, its success was mixed, beyond expectations here, far below there. No one now can know exactly how many took part. We do have an idea how many planned participation: student groups in 2,000 colleges and 10,000 lower schools, citizen groups in 2,000 communities. By one measurement, Earth Day failed. It did not unite. It did attract that broad cross-section of America its sponsors wanted. Not quite. Its demonstrators were predominantly young, predominantly white, predominantly anti-Nixon. Often its protests appeared frivolous, its protesters curiously carefree. Yet the gravity of the message of Earth Day still came through. Act or die. We begin our report with Bruce Morton in Denver.
Place for Purple Mountain's majesty. A place where, on a clear day, the legend said you could see forever. The clear days are fewer now, and instead of forever, the view often stops with haze. Next to Los Angeles, Denver has the best climate in the country for producing smog. In this unlikely seeming place, the air is threatened. Earth Day is a focus for efforts to save it. Bicycles at the state capitol were a Denver symbol. Auto pollution is a major problem here in the country's 17th most polluted city, so high schoolers pedal to show there's another way to travel. The altitude increases car engines' pollution output. It doesn't do a thing to bikes. Somebody in the cheerful, disorganized crowd said, "Let's clean up," and the several hundred young people did, scouring the Capitol grounds for litter. Cleanups like this went on in many parts of Denver today. Somebody got a wastebasket from the Capitol and said it must be the only one, but there were enough paper bags to go around. Then they left for the teach-in, bikers on bikes, but hundreds of others traveling on foot. Some sang, some shouted, all seemed to enjoy the day. High schools were not closed, but many announced absences would be excused. Corrigan Plaza, the hall, was arranged to seat 6,000, though some planners predicted a half-full house. In fact, it was better than that. Lots of coming and going, but about 5,000 seats filled. Most were young, but not all. Most were white, but not all. A group who'd bicycled across the state gave Governor John Love a declaration supporting a cleaner planet, and the governor signed it.
So that was from 1970. Actually, I misspoke. It's 51 years since this happened. On the first Earth Day, April 22nd, 1970, 20 million people came out onto the streets across the United States, an event that to this day remains the largest civic event in human history. It was worldwide. The first one was 1970. Since then, we've had over a billion people mobilized. 190 countries have been engaged. EarthDay.org believes every school in the world must have compulsory assessed climate and environmental education with a strong civic engagement component. This is big. This is when we talk about things on a local level, like we keep, the squad and Bernie and everyone's going to ride it on the right horse and pass a bunch of bills and yay, we save the environment. Good luck. Good luck with the Democratic Party that gets a lot of money from the oil lobby, gets a lot of money from the military-industrial complex. We know the United States military is the #1 polluter on the planet. Yeah, it's weird when you outspend the next 10 countries combined and you have 800 bases around the world that, wow, you spent and you bomb everybody. Wow, it's weird that you destroy the environment and you pollute it. Gee, I wonder if the defense contractor, the defense industry, that has this amass of brain power, money for research and development and technology could actually come up with some technology that rather than, incinerates poor people could really save the planet from climate collapse, the thing that they've been talking about since 1970 on a mass scale. So, but what earthday.org, and go to this website, why it starts with education. And this is, again, what I talk about, what would be part of a Green New Deal. Student debt forgiveness and free college would be part of a Green New Deal to get the youth educated on, hey, you're going to be adults in this environment, in this planet that's collapsing. So we need you to study this and come up with solutions. And if we put everyone on board, got involved with this and put money behind it, I know we could find solutions, because I've already talked about solutions on this show that are there that just need a mass implication. We've talked about the algae that pulls CO2 out of the air on this show. We've talked about the Alvaria, that is a mineral that's readily found. It's easily, mined, produced, and distributed. You can put it on beaches, and it pulls CO2 out of the air and buries it under the ocean floor, a process that naturally occurs in about 1,000 years. But with this Alvaria, it speeds it up and gets it done in about 2 or 3 years. So there's so many things we could do. A lot of countries have started passing, and auto manufacturers, I believe General Motors said, we're going to get rid of gas cars. When Biden got reelected, or Biden got elected, if Trump would have been reelected, they would have said, hey, burn gas cars, gas guzzlers for everybody. And not that Biden is some climate hero. He's not. But it at least made the car industry go, okay, electric is the future. Let's go. You can make plenty of reasonable arguments that we can't just pull all the minerals out of the ground to make electric batteries. Those are all reasonable complaints to make. The resources that you would need to pull out of the ground to make all of these things like solar panels, there's not enough out there, and that would be just as much plundering in different ways. All great arguments to be made. My contention is that whenever the world has faced a giant problem at that moment in history, they didn't have the solution, but everybody gets together and starts working. Someone will come up with a solution. Someone will come up with something. Maybe some of these ones that I've already listed that are already in place just need mass adoption. Maybe we already have compostable plastics that are not petroleum based, they're plant based and they're compostable. So maybe there's a high grade type of plastic that won't melt in the sun, that's more durable, that's plant based, that we can put in the solar panels. Maybe we can have plant based solar panels. I don't know. Let's get some smart people in there and start working. But it's going to take a mass movement, a global movement. And America could be the leader. I don't think we're going to be, because we lead the world in war. If we were to cut our military budget in half, we would still outspend China by roughly $200 billion a year. We would still be outspending China and Russia. We'd outspend Russia by about $150 billion a year and China by $200 billion a year. We'd still be fine if everyone's all worried about this. And no one wants a mass war. World War III eliminates life on planet Earth as well, by the way. We could do thorium nuclear power, which I had somebody come on this show and explain to me. I was against nuclear power. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. And they're explaining to me, no, thorium is the cleaner way, the way that was outlawed by Nixon, of course. So there's all these solutions out there, and we need education and we need money. We need money for R&D, basically. EarthDay.org is building a cohesive, coordinated, diverse movement, one that goes to the very heart of what EarthDay.org and Earth Day are all about. So a Green New Deal, the one that I've outlined, basically it's Bernie Sanders' plan, which he had the best Green New Deal of all the Democratic candidates in the 2020 primary. What I would incorporate in a Green New Deal is free college and a federal jobs guarantee, which gets people out of poverty. It gets people off the streets. It gets rid of homelessness. It deals with drug treatment. And I would put Medicare for all in there. So you're getting free health care. We're treating drug addiction as a health issue rather than a criminal issue. Yes, if you commit a serious crime while under the influence of drugs, that you have to go to jail for that serious crime. Someone's gonna be like, "Oh, just let the criminals go." Great. No, I didn't say that. If you commit a crime, you should go to jail for that crime. Smoking a plant or doing any sort of drugs, we need to decriminalize it. Like the state of Oregon just did. They decriminalized all drugs. So part of a Green New Deal would be decriminalization of drugs and putting money into drug treatment, rather than spending all this money on war, rather than giving Wall Street gets socialism. The rich get socialism. They get the government pays for anything they want. They bankrupt a company, government comes and bails them out. You or I bankrupt a company, we're out on our ass. We're done. I had to file for bankruptcy and foreclosure when I lost my home 10 years ago. The government didn't bail me out. They said they were gonna. Obama said he was gonna, and he didn't. He let the bank steal my home. So if we actually spent money rather than on the 1% who already have more money than they are ever going to ever need in 10 lifetimes, why don't we spend it on the American people and give people jobs, education, healthcare, housing, and save the planet while doing it? Wouldn't we feel great about ourselves if we led the world? Wouldn't we be proud to be Americans again? Because I hear this, we're the greatest country in the world. No, we're not. We have the highest handgun death rate. We have highest infant mortality rate of a developed country. The only countries worse than ours in that category are third world countries. We're like 14th or 15th in the world in education, maybe even lower. We're not 60,000 people die every year because they don't have health insurance. Our military, as I stated, is the #1 polluter of the earth. And we could be this amazing, benevolent country that just goes around and helps the world instead of going, "Hey, America, I'm going to blow it up. I'm an asshole. I'm stupid. Let's eat a bunch of crappy food and then complain that the chairs are too small." No, we have an obesity epidemic that is pushed by companies like Monsanto and Coca-Cola and McDonald's. We have a bunch of food addicts in this country. We have an opioid epidemic in this country. These are the categories we lead the world in. Handgun deaths, opioid addiction, morbid obesity, dying from lack of health care. Oh, forgot this one. We have the highest incarceration rate. We have the highest number of people imprisoned in the world. What? Why don't we solve all these problems and save the planet while doing it? So go to earthday.org, because I'm looking for solutions. And the Democratic Party is not going to be leading this. You, all of us, all of you watching this, your friends and family, get them involved. You have conservatives that don't believe in climate change. Tell them this actually can help the working man. This helps working people. Working class people can get a Green New Deal helps working class people. Yes. Yes, it does. The Democratic Party cannot be reformed within. The Republican Party, forget it. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. We have to do it. We need direct action. We need all of us getting involved. We have to circumvent these two awful political parties. I'm down with the People's Party. I'm down with the Green Party. I'm down with independence. Electoral politics is still a part of it. And I'm not saying don't vote, because as I said, look, the state of Oregon decriminalized all serious drugs. The state of Florida gave $15 an hour minimum wage. Like, states are starting to push for Medicare for all, state by state by state. So electoral politics matters, especially on the local level, because they can't cheat everything. They can't cheat everything. They can in the White House, they can in Congress and the Senate, but they can't cheat everything. So it's a multifaceted approach. It's electoral politics. It's politics on a local level. It's direct actions. It's boycotts. It's, creative direct actions like what Wall Street Bets did. Let's do some stuff like that. That's actually in favor of the environment, that gets some money in for the environment, that, destabilizes big corporations, oil lobby, that are destroying the planet and profiting from it. Money talks. Vote with your dollars, buy recycled products, get off the, buy green energy, invest in 401ks or investment portfolios that invest in green energy, divest from oil, from fossil fuel companies. All those things help. Are you part of a pension fund? Are you part of a union? Where's your pension fund going? Is it in fossil fuels and pipelines and bullshit? Vote to get it out of there. Put it into green energy. Put it into Bitcoin. Like, I had Max Kaiser on and Stacey Herbert on the show, and he said Bitcoin can solve all these problems. So, and the Bitcoin is a big power drain is actually not that accurate. It's a myth being pushed by central banks. So, direct action, vote with your dollars. Ride your bike, take public transportation, buy an electric car, whatever, convert your old diesel car to vegetable oil, grow your own. Like, there's a lot of solutions out there. There's a lot of solutions out there, but we have to take big action, because we're running out of time. Thanks for supporting our show, everybody. Shave your knuckles for justice. You're making Gotham great again. Boom. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.